Hello Sparkle family, and welcome to another Flow State Tarot video. For today's pick a card, we are doing 6 months from now. And you guys already saw the little time lapse of me shuffling each pile. And there are 3 piles for you to pick from. So there are 6 tarot cards and 3 oracle cards. So 6 tarot cards to go from now until 6 months from now, so each month. And the 3 oracle cards are just to support what the vibes are 6 months from now. So I have little Pokemon cards to help you guys choose today, and I'm just going to do things a little differently and sit here and talk to you guys again and do the reading that way. So I'll see you in your pile. Okay, pile 1, if you chose Capsicid. Sorry, it's going to be backwards because I got my front-facing camera today. But we are looking at 6 months from now. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. And if you hear a dog barking, it is indeed the dog that I'm watching barking. So we are going to have these 3 oracle cards at the end to look at to support the 6 months from now vibes. And these are our tarot cards for 6 months. So I'm going to do them in the order I pulled them and set them down. So from the bottom. So we've got the Queen of Swords, the World, the Ten of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and the Magician in reverse. Okay, so let's get into it. So for month 1, we have the Queen of Swords. We're really locked in on nurturing projects, ideas, relationships that we're already invested in. Like, we're really just focusing on these things, and the more attention that we put on something, the more that we're able to harvest from it. You know, more hours put into something we're trying to master gives us that level of mastery that we're looking for. So we're finding that power in ourselves in this first month to get it going. Like, maybe that has been something that's been a struggle for you as of late. But we're taking the power into our own hands, you know. We're really looking forward, and like, maybe there's no emotion about it yet because it's the beginning of something new, but we still aren't. This is almost reminds me too of the way someone holds an instrument when they're getting ready to play, you know. You're queued up and you're ready for whatever is going to come next, whether that be in life, in business, in love, whatever that is. In month 2, we move into the World, which I always love to see this card because well, not all, I've never seen every tarot card ever made, but in most renditions, it's just showing all there is that's out there in the way that you can think of all the things you don't know. It's like all the things you didn't know that you can have or that you can work toward. And it's exciting. So in the second month, all these doors are opening and your perspective is changing, and you're getting excited because the forward momentum is still going also. And even though you're vulnerable and exposed, like, things are coming from it and you're finding connection, and there's also some signs in here. So you're just going in this second month, and things are coming from it. And in the third month here, we have the Ten of Swords. You're cleaning house in this month for things that may not have been working so far in your ventures. And it's a time to reflect on, where are my wounds holding me back, and where can I plant new seeds so that I can continue the forward growth? Because things can really feel dramatic when they're happening, right? And it's not to invalidate your experience. Like, if it feels like that, that's what it feels like, whatever that is to you. But this is the ebb and flow of life, right? This is like also the halfway point. The halfway point. And at halfway, you can also assess, okay, am I on track to the things I want to accomplish? And by taking away the things that are wounding your progress, you can move forward even more efficiently, like cutting dead weight, you know? So, right, moving into month 4, the Six of Cups. You're also really leaning into community and what you've rebuilt in this time. And there's a lot of blooming in this month, but really a focus on spending time with other people, bouncing ideas off of other people, learning from the people around you, but also spending quality time, like appreciating what you've built thus far and who is also still there through that process. Like, sometimes part of what we cut off or the dead weight can be old relationships or old habits, which lead to severing of old ties. And sometimes if you're changing habits or patterns in your life, right? So month 4 is about the fullness of your life that you've harvested and continuing on that path and building new ideas with the people who are still around for how to continue that growth. And we started in month 1 with the Queen of Swords, right? So we're all the way here now in month 5 down the line with the Ace of Swords in reverse. So we're like borderline mastery now, like even more so than we were here, right? But the block comes from 9 times out of 10 internal. And with the end result being the Magician in reverse and the card in front of it being the Six of Cups, it makes me really feel like part of the block is not recognizing the magic that you've already created in the community that surrounds that. Like, getting stuck in this tunnel vision of, I still need to do this, this, and this, when everything is now almost done. And you can sit back and start saying, thank you for your help, and appreciating the things that you've built, and then formulating your plan from there, if that makes sense. So the block in month 5 is just realizing that the energy you had at the halfway point, well, the more than halfway point with the Six of Cups, is you sustain that energy and it will make the end result that much sweeter. So in month 6, we have the Magician in reverse. So like I'm saying, infinity, you know, regardless of how you're looking at it, like, you have the key and the infinity is unlocked. It's just, it's going to flow better when you're able to tap into the abundance that comes from what we just talked about, right? So let's look at our oracle cards. We have at day's end, rest. I find peace in nature and rest my body, mind in order to connect to spirit. So that's a part of it too, is like, you could also just not be taking enough time off generally to recharge. And like, even if that feels impossible, I also just drop that, and I don't want to bend down to get it right now because it will mess up my whole flow. So that could be also how you feel sometimes, but you do have to take a break because you are a person, right? Then we have the healer. I am loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others, but only if you do it for yourself, right? And notice how also similar this imagery is here. you know? So also the number 8. And lastly, we have I am open to love in various forms. So exactly, like literally letting the love in. Like, and also notice the alignment. I love to point out the alignment in cards if you are new here, especially when the card decks aren't related and the artists didn't collaborate, right? This is like your garden is always available to you and you've built something beautiful. So opening yourself to that love, especially people who want to help you and celebrate your success, will really put you in a good place. So that is 6 months from now for my pile number 1s. See you guys in the next one. Hello, my Sparkle family, and pile number 2. If you chose Gastrodon with this shiny card, this is for you. So we are looking at 6 months from now, and I'm excited that you all are here and looking towards the future. So how it's going to work is we have 3 cards to support our 6 months from now vibes and how it can look at the 6 months ahead of us. And these are 6 cards to look at the 6 months ahead of us. So I'm going to go in order that I pulled them. We have the 3 of Wands in reverse, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Cups in reverse. Oh my gosh. The 9 of Wands in reverse, the 5 of Cups, and the Page of Wands. All right. Well, so pile number 2 for month 1, we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. So we're completely unpacking our foundation. We are in the first month looking at what's stable, what's not stable, what's good to grow, and what we might need to eliminate for our ultimate goals. You know, there's something there, but it feels like maybe it's time for a shift, right? And so you're evaluating the things that the seeds you've planted, the foundations that you've built, or maybe who is within the foundations that you've built, you know, because the people in your space are as important as the space. So in month 1, we're looking at that, and that's where our attention is lying. In month 2, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So all right, we are thinking about what do we have to learn from those around us that are successful, and maybe those even immediately by us, right? I hesitate because then maybe not even like elder, but really just in this month, a focus on learning, absorbing knowledge, especially for the betterment of what we are trying to grow in these next 6 months. It's a time of stillness, really absorbing, taking time to not have stimulants, you know, like even just watching TV, things like that. We're stoic, you know, and we're reflecting. Maybe it was harder to do this first month's work than we thought. And so we're just taking the time to adjust to what it feels like now in this new environment. And that leads into the 8 of Cups in reverse. And, you know, it can feel like a lonely road sometimes when we are doing something new, especially if the people in our life or aren't as supportive. I don't want to say not supportive, but you know, there can be times where it feels very isolated and like people don't understand what I'm trying to do and I'm doing this alone. But that thought process also isolates us further. The first question I would ask you with kindness is, when is the last time you let someone hear you? You know, do you have a safe space and someone that you can open up to and be vulnerable in that way where they can validate your feelings, even if they may not relate specifically to your journey, but they can still be a person to support you that you can rely on, you know? So this 3rd month is really about looking around us and removing those blinders, you know, acknowledging that we might be traveling a road less traveled, but it's also probably not traveled at all. Like very few of us have singular problems that have never been faced by anyone else in the history of ever, you know? So also getting out of that way of thinking. Into month 4 with the 9 of Wands also in reverse, right? So at least we are broken out of this like away from everyone kind of vibe, right? But we're still weary and keeping our distance with intention, you know, but we're proud. We're proud of where we are now, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not so much like no one gets me. It's like I am around people who understand me, and I'm well equipped for the road that I'm traveling down now. And so there might be things that still come up that really challenge me, but I'm ready for it, and I'm willing to deal with it. Into month 5, we have the 5 of Cups. So in this month, we've now, everything is culminated, right? We've laid eggs, like planted ideas, the seeds that we replanted in the first month with the foundational work is now almost ready to be birthed, you know? And you can also see that, which is why you have like also the stillness, almost like the same energy as that second month, right? With the stoic stillness of the owl and the wisdom of what you've accomplished so far, and the darkness that felt so isolating. You're able to also, I said the darkness that felt so isolating, and it was 555 as I looked up. So just throwing that out there if you're an angel number homie like me. But yeah, you're looking at the things that have happened in your life and what you've worked for, and it feels good, and there's a sense of being proud. And then like literally onto the Page of Wands, where now you have something that's hatched but also more eggs, right? So you have this, which isn't even an owl. Who knows what this is? Is this what came out of these eggs? Or are we still waiting for those eggs and now there's more power involved? Either way, like all of this work has been for this final feeling, right? And it's cool because we started with the 3 of Wands, building that foundation, and now the Page of Wands with like harnessing the magic that comes from being in a steady foundation. So you're sitting there and you're like, I did this in month 6, right? And you're feeling uplifted about it. So let's look at our oracle cards and see what it's about. You know, I've realized lately that I've been doing a lot shorter of readings, but I've just been doing what I've been feeling called to do. So let me know what you guys feel, because I think it can go either way with length of readings. But do you feel like they've been hitting the spot, or do you feel like you've been craving a little bit more? Let me know. So for our first oracle card, we have Fire Elemental. I ignite the fire within me that connects me to divine. So really tapping into that fire element. Also like feeling empowered, right? There's a lot of like open chest kind of imagery towards the end here, and just like trusting of the universe and just being open to opportunities and things coming in your life. And then meditation. I meditate daily to allow universal wisdom to flow through me. So some kind of meditative practice is really important to you and is a regular part of your life at that 6-month mark. And then you also have I do the best I can. And that almost has like yin and yang energy to me. Also moon energy, so your moon sign, paying attention to that, and moon cycles could be important. But you do the best that you can in month 6, and you stay as balanced as you can using the foundation and the skills that you have created for yourself, especially, you know, even more focused on the 10 of Pentacles with that still month now. You know, that second month can be where you create. That second and third month is where you create those meditative practices to help you through those isolating and trying times, you know? So yeah, like and subscribe. Let me know if this resonated below, and I'll see you later, pile number 2. And P.S. there's a bonus at the end, so check out the timestamps for that. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to another Flow State Tarot reading. If you chose Golbat, this is your pile, and this is going to be the 6 months from now reading. So the way I'm going to do this today is we have 3 oracle cards to support the energy for 6 months from now. But we have 6 tarot cards to bring us through those 6 months and figure out what's going on, what are the vibes, and I'm going to pull them in the order and way that I pulled them out. So we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. We have the Star. We have Temperance in reverse. I do read reversals, so we have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. And we have the 2 of Cups in reverse. So, pile number 3. The 8 of Wands asks us to think about where our focus is. So, like, being in reverse like this, it asks us in this first month to assess, like, what is the target? What is it that we want in our lives? You know, in what area of your life this pertains to. Also, this being collective reading, it's all over the place, right? But so if you want to focus on career, for example, you want to think about what are your goals for your career? Like, okay, you want to focus on your career. And you know what I mean? What does that mean? What does focusing on your career look like for you? And what would be a good outcome in those 6 months to say, looking back on this, I accomplished this, you know? Setting that target, that goal, that light in the sky leads us into month 2 with the Star. The Star is this month focusing on light and being excited about the goals that you've set and articulated and feeling like there's a way to get there. You know, you have this guiding light, you're working really hard, and you've already set these things into motion in this second month. So you lit the fire and it's burning in that sense, you know. In month 3, we have Temperance in reverse. So we're being tested this month, and are we true about what we say we want and what we desire? Do we embody the kind of person we say we want to be in the life we want to live? We're focused on feeling that positive energy from the effort put out and letting ourselves feel that, you know? This third month is just about unlocking that I got this and really meaning that extra oomph behind it. In month 4, we have the 4 of Pentacles. We've been working on that with the Temperance in reverse, right? And now we know we're ready. We're leading. And it's not even like we thought we weren't ready before, but we're living it. We're embodying it, which was what we were working on the last month. So every single month we're progressing. Like, we have something that we're trying to identify that we're working toward, then we start working toward it, right? Then we're like, do I deserve what I'm working toward? And then we're like, yes, I deserve what I'm working toward, right? So it's this cause and effect, but you're actually seeing it in real time, which is continuing to feed the fire of what you're working towards, which in month 5, we have the King of Cups, right? This mastery of not only emotions, but what we're hoping for, of like, I know that I'm worth all of these things that I want and have built or worked really hard for. And I allow myself to feel gratitude and empowered. And I kind of raise my eyes because I think when life starts moving fast, gratitude becomes less at the forefront when it's not for everyone. You know, I don't want to generalize. I'm generalizing because it's a general reading, but you know what I mean? Like, I won't assign any habits to you. You assign them to yourselves. You know what you do and what you need to work on, you know? And so living in that moment, allowing yourself to feel that and be grateful for this series of events that have led you to where you are now, right? The month before we're looking at, and then leading into literally to the 2 of Cups. Even though it's in reverse, like, the blockage here, it's like, even though it's reversed, it's literally still mirrored in all of these different ways, right? no matter how you look at it, you are bearing the fruit of your success and all of your efforts, and all of the colors that you've been working with are just all present here in this card, and you're feeling firm and abundant. And so let's look at our oracle cards for this 6 month. Pile 3, I was saying to the other piles, like, these readings lately have been kind of short and to the point, but I haven't felt such a need to be very elaborate. So if there's more that you guys are itching for, let me know in the comments below. But either way, I'd love to hear how you're feeling about these readings lately. So we have Earth Angel. I am a guardian of Mother Earth and protect all who live on her. So that can be a big part of your mission, protecting the environment and making that a big part of who you are and what you do. We have the Present. I fully experience every moment of my life by living in the present. So, this is really cool too, because there's just a lot of overlap. If you're new here, I like to point out the synchronicity in cards, especially when the decks aren't related. And then I act respectfully of others. And mind you, there's also plants in here. So the balance between yourself, nature, and other is really important in this time. And even notice I threw that down and it landed on Temperance. And look at those colors. Incredible. You know exactly who you want to be, and you are that 6 months from now. So good job, pile number 3. And stay tuned for a little bonus I have for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, leave some hearts, and I'll see you all soon. Okay, my lovely people, I have a little bonus round for you guys. Just something special. 2 little things. One, I have a magic 8-ball, which this is a funny one I got a while back, and it's like you press the button instead of shaking it. I still need a real one, so if anyone wants to get me one for Christmas. But I'm gonna let you guys ask a question, and we're gonna look at the answer to it, and then we're also going to make a wish with one of these that I found outside. So we're gonna make a wish together as a collective, okay? So first off, think of your question. As I see it, yes. So that's backwards, but as they see it, yes. And now, a wish. All right, you guys, let's think about it together. A collective wish. See you guys next time.